Right, and I didn't know knowledge again, like, because I think I've stumbled upon a good, fascinating piece of code, right? I think it is anyway, like a fascinating piece of code, right? It's based on this Cruella de Vil idea, right? As I've been looking at the cruel idea within the Lucifer, right? Now this was done in 1956. This book by Dodie Smith, right? Obviously a tea-drinker, right? That Dorothy Gladys Dodie Smith, same as Dodie Firehead and Di, what do you call it? Di Spencer and all that. Obviously a tea-drinker, right? And this was this book was done in 1956, the 101 Dalmatians. So the 101 idea, you got the 11, right? So this person was obviously a Mason, right? St. Paul's Girls' School. Hammersmith, it's a bang into the Freemasonry, right? Next we see King Edward VII Lodge, right, in the province of East Lancashire. So obviously King Edward VII was something that they were high up in the Freemasonry at some point. As we see, King Edward VII was king until 1910, right? So basically that Edward VII was the king when this Smith was born, right? So this Edward VII was king of the United Kingdom, right? And was also the Prince of Wales at one stage. Nicknamed Bertie, right? Like the burlesque tea drinker, right? The burlesque tea drinker. And he was a Prince of Wales. And the peacemaker, same as James the First. Like the peacemaker type of thing, right? I've just typed in was Edward VII for Freemasonry, and obviously there, as you can see, obviously was, like, know what I mean? So probably was the Grand Master, held the Grand Master position at some point, right? This Edward VII, right? And as we see here, right, the word devil, right, is only mentioned in the Bible only 4 times, right? Dalit, right, in the authorized version of the Old Testament, and not at all in the New King James versions, right? So which so you are of your father the devil, right? I'm just thinking about this word devil, right? Because if you look at the word devil, right, you got Ed, go from right to left, right? You got Ed, the 7th, right? So you got Ed, and then the 7 up there, right? Edward the 7th, right? So I'm thinking basically, did they put this in round about, just prior to about 1900, right? You know what I mean? Did they sort of put this into the Bible just round about that time and basically create the idea of the devil, the day with Edward the 7th, right? So Ed the 7th, right? Also it's lived, Ed the 7th, Edward the 7th lived. And you've got all the different sort of meanings of it. of course that's now to do with the actual Bible and the words what's written in the Bible, see, the actual word of devil is basically found in these bits. Of course you got funny stuff like it came to pass, the dumb spake. Which says only occurs 4 times, but a bit more than 4 times, you know. But I don't know, I see what I mean. It's like the Bible thing is that obviously could have been manipulated 1,000 times from when they originally, you know what I mean. So it's like, you know, the idea that the Bible is this sort of source of you know, I don't know. People say like, oh, it's the word of God, you know, and all this way, you know. I don't see why, like, you know what I mean. What's more word of, you know what I mean? Like people like actually say, oh, yeah, I trust the Bible, yeah. You know, I believe what it says, and what the hell's the believer put stuff like this? You know what I mean? It's like, why would you trust more in what that says, read, than the Lucky Jim by Martin Amis or something? You know what I mean? It's all just a book and writing and nothing. So you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it says it's only written 4 times, like, but it's written quite a bit. But I'm just thinking, was this, you know, is this, wait, it's obviously part of it, you see, Edward the 7th, right? Edward the 7th, and this, you know what I mean? It's all part of the same thing, isn't it? This is looks more than 4 times it's written in. You know what I mean? Quite a lot. The devil and his angels. Jesus rebuked the devil. Rebuked the devil. The buck angel. You see, he died in 1910, followed by Parliament Act 1911. Constitutionally important. Restricted the power of the House of Lords. Of course, he was born in Buckingham Palace. So, you know, you can basically write in ideas about the devil and all that if they want. You always see people Alice Keppel, right, which is the Hep 7 in the kettle. And that's a relative of Judith Keppel, right? This was a long time mistress of Edward the 7th, right? The devil, Edward the 7th, right? Then we see the first ever Who Wants to Be a Millionaire winner of £1 million in Britain was Judith Keppel. Judith Keppel, first person to win £1 million. And direct descendant of that mistress or Edward the 7th. What's the TH? The Keppel, like the kettle and the Hep 7. Relatives. So look at all the relatives. Earl of Albemarle, Queen Consort, so related to the Camilla Parker Bowles one and all that. So you see what I mean? I'll keep it in the family. And the mistress of King Edward VII. So of course, you know, like when this one won £1 million on the thing, you should have already had more than £1 million in their own bank account type of thing, like, you know, pocket money. You know, pocket money, like, wouldn't it? Still scrolling through the Edward VII informations, read. You see Charles Mordaunt, 1869, Sir Charles Mordaunt, 10th Baronet, right? Yeah, a wealthy English country gentleman, notorious for involving the future King Edward VII in a divorce case. It's funny how there's a lot of parallels with this King Edward VII and the Henry VIII one, you know. A lot of parallels there, you know what I mean? The possibility that the Henry VIII was based upon this one. Yeah. Never know, like, but yeah. Of course, it could be God and the devil, like Henry VIII being the God, and this Edward VII being the devil type of thing. You know, it could be, you know, they might be playing out a dualistic idea in the monarchs or whatever. You know, you just never know. You know what they're doing in that. But anyway, from that one, the Mordaunt, the Baronet, right? Nowadays, you've got Penny Mordaunt. Yeah, who's absolutely a relative of that one, like. Right, so you see how we keep the power, the wealth, the money, the influence in the same family bloodlines, right? That one was 1869, right? So, you know, more than 150 years later or whatever, and you've still got a Mordaunt in the House of Commons there. See what I'm saying? Tea drinker. So, you know what I mean? This is how they did, right? It's just one big con, like. Odd stuff, saying Prince of Wales, the future King, Mordaunt, you know, all the rest, same stuff. Basically, God and the devil, again, it's all part of it, right? It's all part of the system, right? You know, and again, this is Edward VII. He socialised with actress Lily Langtry, Lady de Bath, right? And again, British socialite idea, Lady Randolph Churchill. Oh, we got one for a tea drinker, right? Francis again, right? All British socialites went into the actressing and the, you know, basically dressing up in costumes and sort of, you know, parading about. Remember, they were tea drinkers, right? All trans. So it's like, you know, and see how you know, camp the whole thing was, really, can't you? And the whole one needs to socialise with Edward VII, is this Sarah Bernhard, and the T, right? T on the end. Again, when these socialites are born to these upper class type of tea drinker families, right? And they start bloody fanny and run, bloody, you know, dressing up in costumes and masks, you know, playing male roles, of course, you know, and you know what I mean? That's how it all came about. Theatre and arts, you know, what they call arts, and you know, look how the Hollywood stars type of thing is you know, looked on upon as the best people and all this, right? All stemmed due to this, you know, upper class tea drinking society, which started in Britain basically. And this one's related to that one again, see, tea drinkers and that.